Oh, hi, everybody. I was just wondering if there's anybody out there who actually wants to chat. Uh, we don't have to talk about pop culture or anything like that. We can talk about whatever we want to because we, well, I get to put anything I want to out there. Hmm, I don't know what that means. Still working out everything. I thought for sure that I could pin this. Oh, nope, put user in timeout. Well, I can't put myself in timeout. Although maybe I can put myself in timeout. I'm not absolutely sure about that. Anyway, ooh, boy, I gotta change a whole bunch of things on StreamYard, don't I? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. What are we gonna put up there? Well, what the hell? We can talk about pain. I could actually rebrand this as a pain stream if I wanted to. Anyway, let's see. I know I was going to do this earlier, and I chose not to. I'm choosing to do so now. Ooh, well, let's find out. New friend, new live stream. Paste. Ooh, oh shit! I put the wrong thing in there. Damn it. Okay. Well, I never said I was smart. I always just said I wanted to be here. I know it's Friday night, and if you're not at the bar, then you are probably on somebody else's channel. However, I'm going to put this out there and see what happens because I am curious to see how many people actually want to be on a live stream with someone who does not require a subscription or whatever it's called. No, there's a lot of us out there who don't actually do that, but there are also a lot of people out there that actually do that. Like you can't come on their channel unless you've been subscribed for X amount of whatever time. It's like, really? Mm. Oh, Superior Hero Collectibles. Wow, right on. We could talk about nerd stuff if you want to. I'm not like well versed in nerd stuff, but uh, I mean, the link is right there if you want to come on to the channel. Let me finish posting this. Hold on. It'll only take me one more minute and we can see what happens. I don't think I have that many followers. But I am putting the links in the proper places in Discord. So that's going to annoy a lot of people with their notifications on. I know that because it annoys me when people have their notifications on or when I have my notifications on. And like people are like, I'm posting this right now. Think, 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 think. Oh, all right, right on. I can change all of my avatars to match my own PTSD if that's what you want to talk about. As a matter of fact, I can put the banner up or the brand. I guess it's the brand. No, it's the banner. Okay. Let's see. Veterans Crisis Line. We can talk about that if you want to. Absolutely. I have no problem with that. I better go over to private chat so I can see that while I've got the YouTube up over here. There. Fantastic. Hey, I'm all set up. Okay. Yeah, I know the barbed wire on the back, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people, but it makes a lot of sense to a lot of people. And those are the ones that I'm trying to reach. Like, yeah, I'm in pain. You're in pain. We're in pain. Let's talk about it. Let's do our thing. But if you just want to talk about pop culture too, I can do that. I just, you know, I'll just keep regurgitating other people's opinions on most pop culture, which is fine also. Speaking of which, I should probably try and find an article to read or something. I ain't that clever, but I'm waiting for other people to show up to show off my cleverness. If other people show up. But again, normally, if the snow were piled up on the sidewalks, um, I'd be down at the bar singing karaoke. But uh, the snow is, in fact, piled up on the sidewalks, and I don't want to walk in the street because, well, walking in the street is dumb. But you got to do it in places where the snow piles up. Honestly, there's like a parking spot in front of my house, and if anybody else parks in front of my house, I'm really pissed because I have to like walk a block and a half to get back to my house. And then I can't drink until somebody moves their car. So yeah, it does get a little bit annoying sometimes when people park in front of the house. Haven't had that problem in a while though, so pretty happy about that. And especially for this winter, since I've only got the one parking spot shoveled off. Uh, and wow, tell you what, man, phew. I told my neighbors, I told them, but they rent their houses out. They're all on Airbnb. Like all four of my neighbors are on Airbnb, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know." And I went, "Really? You didn't know? I told you. I told you to keep shoveling your sidewalk every day it snows. Every single day it snows. You got to shovel your sidewalk." No, I didn't know. And so now the sidewalks on either side of my house are actually encrusted with ice with snow drifts blown over the top of them. So it looks like really fluffy snow, doesn't it? But it's not actually fluffy snow, it's actually ice. So you step on it and you go, ah, I slipped and I fell and I broke my hip or something like that. It's absolutely insane. On the other hand, here I are, a year after my four-wheel drive failed, and I still haven't replaced the transfer case in my truck. But I gotta wait for my driveway to melt and dry out so I can actually drive my truck into the backyard and try and prop it up and get underneath it and replace the transfer case. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs to go on. So let me tell you what's been happening in my life since the snow started falling, since the weather got cold. All right. Um, this last summer, I started digging out my driveway. I live on the side of a hill. Okay. And so I literally need to dig out my driveway in order to get it to a decent slope in which you can actually drive into or toward the back of the house, I should say. It's not a bad house. I love it. It's a double lot. And so I've got a ginormous backyard. Like two dogs couldn't fill it up with poop unless you had a renter that was here for 2 years that had two dogs and never cleaned up after them, then the backyard actually does fill with poop. But you you could literally live here for decades and not have to clean the backyard if you were careful with your animals. It doesn't matter anyway. So there I was digging out the driveway and pulling. Oh, hey, thank you for saying hi, Orville Nation. I appreciate that. No worries if you don't want to hang out on the panel. I'm just telling my stories because, waiting for people who actually do want to talk. Sci-Fi Nation, you and I, we don't get along all the time, but we do get along most of the time. You're welcome up on the panel. You know that. Shit. I'll yell at you and kick you off the panel if you piss me off, but other than that, you're welcome up on the panel. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the big double lot. And so I was digging out the driveway uh this summer, and I actually got enough large rocks out of my driveway in order to build a goes from 2 foot high at the mailbox to 3 foot high at the corner of the lot where my driveway starts. So I got enough rocks out of just digging out the driveway to build a stone wall in front of my house. So that I'm actually I was like, I watch these archaeology shows and I go, how the hell did those old ancient people do that stuff? And well, now I know because I did actually have to get uh, some well, I had some stuff left over from when I put the chain link fence in. And so I had a few poles left over from that. So I know for a fact that they used, well, I don't know for a fact. I suspect that they used logs and things to move those great big heavy rocks from here to there and whatever, because I used aluminum poles to move the great big heavy rocks from here to there. So I suspect that that is what they did in the oldie timey. How do you spell that? OLDETYME. Timey. Oldie timey. Days when they didn't have cranes and front bucket loaders and all that stuff. Because I don't have any of that either. So I was using a pickaxe and a shovel, which is better than a antler horn, But either way, doesn't matter. So I did that during the summer, and then it got cold, right? And it started raining a lot, which freezing rain is pretty interesting because it's not snow, but it does actually turn into ice on the sidewalks and the roads and things. And so you got to be real careful when you drive on the morning after a freezing rainstorm. And so I moved myself into the house and I was like, okay, I'm going to start working on things inside the house. So now I've got my kitchen taken all the way down to the subfloor. And I pulled up the rafters and I fixed some of the electrical and some of the HVAC underneath the house, stuff like that. And right now, I can tell you right now, I'm feeling pretty high, not just because of the beer, but also because of the fumes. I've coated the subfloor with rubberized compound, and I will not tell you the brand name. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So I coated the subfloor with rubberized compound so that when I put the the baseboards down above the subfloor, they will not squeak. I'm also going to paint them with rubberized compound because it's in my kitchen. And so doing the dishes and doing cooking and things like that. Well, I went to the store and I thought to myself, I said, ceramic tile or industrial tile? And, I walked around the aisles for a little bit and there's a lot of beautiful ceramic tile out there, but that's not what I wanted. And so I went and looked at the industrial tile, the industrial vinyl tile. I was like, oh, wow, that looks good. And so I bought those instead. And sure enough, well, I don't know for sure, but I suspect that it's going to be a lot more flexible than any ceramic tile that I would have purchased. And not only that, I didn't have to buy the cement backer board to lay down before I put the ceramic tile down. So now I just got to make sure that the half-inch press board that I bought brings the vinyl tile up to the level of the hardwood floor. And well, we'll see how that works out. I'll tell you guys in a couple of days because right now I'm not sure. I'm still waiting for the rubberized latex to cure on the subfloor, and then I can bring in the press board that I bought today. Whew, good God, remodeling a kitchen is a pain in the ass, but it's going to be an absolute cook's dream when I'm finally done, because I can literally turn around, open the refrigerator, and turn back around to the refrigerator or to the cook or the cook stove, the stovetop, and then I can just dump everything I need or everything I'm done with into the sink. So I'm like 5 feet away from everything in my kitchen when I'm done with it. I'm still, like I said, when I'm done with the subfloor, when I'm done with the baseboards, when I'm done with the vinyl tile, then I will be able to, start doing cooking videos again. And we'll see how that works out, because I intend to set up my cooking shows so that it's like, okay, you've got this herb right here at the top of the refrigerator. You've got this little bit of milk right here at the second shelf of the refrigerator, and you can literally just cook anything you want to all day long in a kitchen, because it's set up in what's it called, the cook's triangle, I think is what it's called. I may be mistaken on that. You've got the sink here and the refrigerator there and the stovetop there, and they're all within reaching distance. And everything else, everything that you store under the cabinets, everything you store for serving and all that stuff is in, whatever else in the kitchen, whatever's comfortable for you as a cook, right? You have everything else stored there and there and there and there. And you've got, well, for me, I have 2 different types of countertop. I'm going to have 2 different types of countertop. Most of the time it's going to be a standard countertop that anybody would have. If I can afford quartz, I'll go with quartz, and that'll be the kitchen countertop. And then in the extended kitchen, I'm going to call it the dining room, because it currently is a dining room. I haven't expanded the walls yet. So once I once I get that wall out, it will be just the extended kitchen. But for now, it is going to be the dining room where I'm going to have the double cabinet with the hardwood countertop, so that I can do my baking and uh, other etceteras. Wood countertops should never be used for cutting meat. Okay, so that's why I'm gonna, hopefully, if I can afford it, get a quartz countertop. And that way I can cut the meat on the quartz countertop, and I can do the bread and biscuits and baking and all that stuff on the wood countertop. Yes, I know. I'm one of those guys who is particular about the way his kitchen is set up, and that's why this has been a winter-long project for me. I'm still working on the floor. Once I get that done, then I can work on the wall, and then I can work on the cabinets, and then I can work on this, that, the other thing, etc., etc. But once that's done, I'll start making cooking videos again, and hopefully it will actually look pretty good. I don't know. It looks good in my head. I figure if it looks good in my head, then it'll look good when it's completely done. Now, not everybody will agree with me on that, but I did. Whew, did a lot of stuff to make this house comfortable for me. And so if you don't like it, you can, you know, run away, run away, run away. Problem is that the kitchen and dining room are the last of the downstairs projects, which means that the upstairs, and that's going to suck because I hate walking up and downstairs. It's weird, when my ankle was rebuilt back in the day. Uh, yeah, back in the day. I know a lot of people are like 15 years ago was not that long ago. 14 years ago was not that long ago. You're right. 14 years was not that long ago. But when my ankle was first rebuilt, going upstairs was a lot easier than going up a ramp. Okay? Just saying. Ugh. Anyway, now, unfortunately, at this point, walking up and down stairs is a hell of a lot more difficult than walking up and down a ramp. So that has nothing to do with my ankle, mind you. It has more to do with the small, we'll just call it small fiber neuropathy for now. Although it's in the deep nerves, so it's large fiber. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I got to rebuild the top of my house. Jeez. You know, I bought this house because there was no asbestos and no whatever the other thing is, mold. There was no mold and no asbestos, right? And so I was like, okay, this is the house I'm going to buy. I'm going to live in this house. And there was a whole lot of stuff that had to be done. There was a whole lot of stuff. I mean, the front door was 36 inches, which is ADA accessible. Okay. And so I knew that this house needed a lot of work when I bought it. I was not expecting it to take me more than 3 years to do any of this stuff. But I'm almost there. The first floor is almost completely ADA accessible, which is actually pretty impressive. for having done it all with cash and having done it mostly myself and having done it in just 3 years, it's actually, well, I'm going to pat myself on the back. Absolutely. I think I deserve it. And then, well, I still have to do the upstairs. Now, I do have a bedroom that a renter moved out of, which is a good thing, because she left it a mess. I mean, there was cat poop and oh, I still need to replace the carpet up there, but that doesn't matter. Um, so the upstairs and the stairway leading up to the upstairs, I still need to replace, but that's it. Doesn't actually affect me so much. It just affects my visitors when they come to stay for a weekend or whatever. Uh, so that is, yep. Yeah. Loki, I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, it's been a long time since I had to walk upstairs. Oh, wait, no, I walked upstairs today. But I didn't have to walk up 5 flights of stairs or 6. I think I was on the 6th floor. Yeah. So, yeah, that's fantastic. Loki and I were at the Retro Palooza thing. And I'm not a gamer. I basically just went out to hang out with everybody, and I hope that worked out really well because I had a lot of fun. Oh, shit. Wrong link. Doggone it. I ain't that good at this whole computer thing, am I? Well, anyway, yeah. Somebody said stairs. Who was it? Me? No, I disagree. No, I disagree. We didn't have to walk upstairs at a Hilton. I mean, for God's sakes, Hilton. Look, I know Hilton, or actually all the guests that weekend got a whole bunch of free breakfasts. I think, or whatever it was they gave us. I don't even remember at this point. But yeah, it was. We showed up there the day before the event, and they were. Oh yeah, it was okay. They were working on the street out front of the hotel, and they hit a power line, and it took them what, like 6 or 8 hours to fix the power line, which absolutely makes sense to me, and I wasn't blaming the hotel for that at all, except that I was on the 6th floor, and so I had to walk up 6 flights of stairs every single time I wanted to smoke a cigarette. It's like, really, come on now. Walk down 6 flight of stairs is a lot easier than walking up 6 flights of stairs. Oh, not only that, they messed up the conference room. We were supposed to have a conference room that was all completely secluded and everything. And they were like, well, they even messed that up. And that was not the city's fault. Okay. The city was working on the street outside and they hit a power line. Okay. That is the city's fault. I didn't blame the hotel for that. But yeah, that that room that we ended up with was the VIP room, which is not a conference room, by the way. Anybody with a Hilton Honors membership can go into the VIP room and get a bottle of water or a soda or whatever the case may be. And that's where we ended up to watch the movie. Can you believe that they did that? I can't believe they screwed up so bad that weekend. But we still had a whole bunch of fun. Where was I? I don't remember. Well, shit, I'll move on to a different story then. January of 2005. Does anybody remember where they were in January of 2005? I will give 30 seconds of a pause to let you people say you remember where you were in January of 2005. Go ahead. Nope, I'm way too impatient for a 30-second pause. If you have not remembered where you were in January of 2005, that's not my problem. Actually, I think I was in Kuwait. I don't think I was actually in Iraq. No, wait, this late in January in 2005. Yeah, I was in Iraq. Okay. Or at least, at the very least, on a convoy into Iraq, one way or the other. There you go, Loki. That's what I'm talking about. A drug induced haze. Well, you know what? I haven't done that until recently, just the last couple of years. Have I been going, oh, I'm in a drug induced haze? But, well, no, even not even drug induced. I just alcohol induced haze. But I do actually enjoy and have fun with myself. I know sometimes I get a little out there, but yeah. So I believe I was in January of 2005. Oh yeah, we were already. Yeah, we were already in Iraq. We were already at Q West Base Complex. If you don't know what Q West Base Complex was, then you were not a quartermaster in 2005 because that was the main quartermaster base for northern Iraq in 2005. Mind you, we actually made it that way. A lot of the. Oh, shit. Okay. So you go into a country and you defeat that country and you have to set up military bases. Okay. It takes a while. It does. Okay. By the time 2005 rolled around, there were a lot of regular army bases in Iraq at that time. However, Q West, because it was up on a hill on the Shamar Plain, was an ideal location for a logistics base, which a lot of people don't know what logistics is. Logistics is beans, bullets, and water. Beans, bullets, and water. If you don't have beans, bullets, and water, you can't fight a war. And so that is what a logistics base is. And that's what we were setting up to, well, beans, bullets, and fuel. I guess I should say I was a fueler at that time. Yes, and the yeah, the disdain in my voice for fuelers is real because I was a fueler for 15 years. Anyway, so we drove from Kuwait, and this is in 2005. We could have flown in everything. And for some reason, our company commander said, we are going to fly or we are going to drive into Iraq. There was absolutely no reason for it. I'd already drove into Iraq once. I didn't need to do it again. But I was told to, and so I did. So I drove into Iraq for a second time. Lovely. Although in 2005, it wasn't that bad. I think 2006 was the surge. So in 2006 was when a whole bunch of bad stuff happened. I was already gone by then, which was a good thing for me. So in 2005, we drove, in 2000, December of 2004, yes. I have missed several Christmases, by the way, having served for so long. Anyway, December we drove into Iraq. Like that matters. Anyway, so it was winter time, right? And nobody thinks that there's rain in Iraq. Well, guess what? There's rain in Iraq. There is rain in Iraq. And if you build, or I should say, if you dig down off of the Shamar Plain and you put up 5-foot dirt berms, well, when the rain does come, it is going to flood. And we're talking 3 million gallons of jet fuel. 3 million gallons. Not 300,000 gallons, not 30,000 gallons. 3 million gallons of jet fuel we had stored in those bags, and we could not get to them other than slopping through hip deep mud to get to the pumps and the filter separators and the bags and the valves and everything else. It was all underwater. It was, and I love these guys, and I get to make fun of the Navy. You guys don't get to make fun of the Navy unless you were in the service. But I get to make fun of the Navy. The Seabees did not know that they were below a floodplain when they built the systems. So when it did rain and we were slogging through the mud, it was not the Seabees' fault. They did not know that it was going to rain and flood our fuel system. It actually took us about 5 months to rebuild the system. We actually got Army engineers in. They came in and brought soil from outside the camp and brought it in and built up the fuel system they brought in enough dirt to build up a 3 million gallon system 4 feet above the natural plane. I'm not even going to do the math. I don't math good, but just take that, okay? They built up the base soil 4 feet above the floodplain for a 3 million gallon fuel system. So you can imagine that 2 acres, building up 2 acres of soil, 4 feet is a fantastic effort. And they did a great job. And then they brought in even more soil to build the berms up above that 4-foot elevation instead of digging the dirt they did. Now, there's one thing they did wrong, and it was probably not their fault. They used river rock instead of crushed rock. And so it took actually about 3 more months for that river rock to get solidified into a road. We were slipping and sliding and twisting our ankles all over those river rocks while we were walking around the fuel system for that 3 months while we were waiting for it to compact. But it did eventually compact. Yeah. I wasn't there for the next rainy season. By the time the next rainy season came around, we were already redeployed back home. And I do believe that the fuel system itself got sold to a corporation which ran it. So they were hiring people to come in and do the job. And okay, a little bit of self-aggrandizement here. They did ask me if I wanted a job, and I was like, no, I'm a career Army guy. So I did not accept their offer. Even if I had, it wouldn't have made a difference. That's a whole different story. Don't get married. Oh, wait. There's a lot of people out there who are currently married and are going to get married. Self, I said, don't get married again. To self, it's not worth it. To other people, it may be. And so enjoy yourselves while you're married. As I said, that is a whole different subject. I did not bring my 12-pack of beer into the room with me, which means that I need to end this stream. So thank you all for listening to me brag and talk crap about everything that has been going on in the last couple of weeks or months or years. Thank you again, and don't panic, and have a great day.